Argentina. The name evokes images of tango, gauchos and vast pampas. It speaks of a land rich in culture, history and natural resources. In the early 20th century, Argentina was indeed a land of opportunity, a beacon of prosperity. It was a magnet for immigrants seeking a better life, a nation on the rise. People from all over the world, especially Europe, flocked to its shores, bringing with them dreams of a brighter future. From the late 19th century to the eve of World War I, Argentina experienced an economic boom that propelled it into the ranks of the world's wealthiest nations. This period was marked by significant industrial growth and an increase in the standard of living for many Argentines. This period, often referred to as the Golden Age, saw Argentina's GDP per capita soar, rivaling that of many European nations. Buenos Aires in particular flourished, becoming a hub of economic activity and cultural sophistication. The country became a leading exporter of agricultural products, particularly beef and grain, which were in high demand in the global market. The fertile pampas were the backbone of this agricultural success, providing the perfect conditions for large-scale farming. This newfound wealth transformed Argentina, fueling rapid urbanization, infrastructure development, and a flourishing cultural scene. Cities expanded, new buildings rose, and the arts thrived, reflecting the nation's growing affluence. Buenos Aires, the vibrant capital city, earned the moniker Paris of South America, a testament to its cosmopolitan allure and architectural grandeur. The city's wide boulevards, elegant buildings, and lively cafes mirrored the sophistication of European capitals. The seeds of this prosperity were sown in a confluence of favorable factors. The vast fertile lands of the Pampas were ideal for agriculture, and the country's strategic location made it a key player in global trade. Argentina boasted vast fertile lands, ideal for large-scale agriculture. The Pampas, with their rich soil and favorable climate, were perfect for growing crops and raising livestock. The discovery of new refrigeration techniques allowed for the long-distance transportation of perishable goods, opening up lucrative export markets for Argentine beef. This innovation was a game-changer, enabling Argentina to reach markets far beyond its borders. European investment poured into the country, attracted by the promise of high returns. Investors from Britain, France, and other nations saw Argentina as a land of opportunity, and their capital helped fuel further growth. This influx of capital further fueled economic expansion, leading to the development of railroads, ports, and other infrastructure essential for trade. The transportation network expanded rapidly, facilitating the movement of goods and people across the country. The government, largely controlled by a landed elite, implemented policies that favored agricultural exports and attracted foreign investment. These policies created a favorable business environment, encouraging further economic activity. This period of remarkable growth and prosperity seemed to solidify Argentina's place as a rising star on the world stage. The country's wealth was evident in its bustling cities, thriving industries, and the high standard of living enjoyed by many of its citizens. Little did anyone know that this golden era would eventually fade, giving way to a cycle of economic turmoil that would plague the nation for decades to come. The once promising future became overshadowed by political instability, economic mismanagement, and social unrest, leading to a long and challenging journey for Argentina. At the dawn of the 20th century, Argentina stood as a shining example of economic success, a beacon of prosperity in South America. It was a nation transformed, propelled by a potent mix of abundant resources, technological advancements, and strategic investments. The Industrial Revolution had taken root, and factories buzzed with activity, producing goods for both domestic use and export. European immigrants, drawn by the promise of a better life, flocked to Argentina's shores, infusing the nation with a diverse workforce and entrepreneurial spirit. These new arrivals brought with them skills, knowledge, and a determination to succeed, which helped to drive the country's economic engine. The government, largely influenced by liberal economic policies, fostered an environment conducive to trade and investment. Policies were crafted to encourage business growth, and political stability provided a solid foundation for economic expansion. Argentina embraced globalization, opening its markets to the world and reaping the benefits of international commerce. The bustling ports were a testament to the country's active participation in global trade, with goods flowing in and out, connecting Argentina to distant markets. The export-oriented agricultural sector flourished, with vast estancias or ranches, supplying beef and grain to a hungry world. These agricultural exports became the backbone of the economy, generating wealth that permeated through various sectors. The wealth generated from this agricultural bounty spread throughout the economy, fueling the growth of industries and urban centers. Factories sprang up, cities expanded, and the urban landscape evolved rapidly. Buenos Aires, strategically located on the Rio de la Plata, became a major port city, a bustling hub connecting Argentina to the global marketplace. The city's marketplaces thrived, filled with goods from around the world, and its streets buzzed with the energy of commerce. The government invested heavily in infrastructure, expanding the railway network, modernizing ports, and constructing public buildings that rivaled those of European capitals. These investments not only facilitated trade, but also symbolized Argentina's aspirations to be a modern, progressive nation. Education also received significant attention, with the establishment of new universities and a focus on literacy. The government recognized that an educated populace was essential for sustained economic growth and social development. This period of sustained growth and development led to a marked improvement in living standards for many Argentines. Urban life flourished, and families enjoyed the benefits of a booming economy. The country boasted a growing middle class, and social mobility seemed within reach for many. Neighborhoods expanded, and the dream of a better life became a reality for a significant portion of the population. Argentina's transformation into a modern, prosperous nation seemed complete. The skyline of Buenos Aires reflected the country's ambitions, with new buildings symbolizing progress and modernity. It had become a model for other developing countries, a testament to the power of open markets and sound economic policies. International delegations visited to learn from Argentina's success, and economic conferences highlighted the nation's achievements on the global stage. Despite the outward signs of prosperity, cracks began to appear in Argentina's economic foundation. The bustling streets and thriving factories masked underlying vulnerabilities that would soon be exposed. The global economic downturn of the 1930s, triggered by the Great Depression, dealt a severe blow to Argentina's export-dependent economy. As international markets collapsed, Argentina's reliance on agricultural exports became a significant liability. Demand for agricultural products plummeted, causing prices to crash and leaving Argentina vulnerable. Farmers, who had once thrived, now faced financial ruin as their crops lost value almost overnight. The government's response to this crisis marked a turning point in Argentina's economic trajectory. Faced with mounting pressure, policymakers convened to devise strategies to stabilize the economy. Shifting away from its previous laissez-faire approach, the government intervened more heavily in the economy, implementing protectionist policies aimed at shielding domestic industries from foreign competition. These measures were designed to foster self-sufficiency and reduce dependency on volatile global markets. While these measures provided some short-term relief, they also sowed the seeds of future economic imbalances. The immediate benefits were overshadowed by long-term structural issues that would later become apparent. Import substitution industrialization, as this policy was known, led to the growth of inefficient industries that relied on government protection and subsidies. These industries, shielded from competition, often lacked the innovation and efficiency needed to thrive independently. This shift towards inward-looking economic policies coincided with the rise of populism in Argentina. As economic hardships persisted, the public became increasingly receptive to leaders who promised change and a break from the status quo. A new breed of charismatic leaders emerged, promising economic justice and a greater share of the nation's wealth for the working class. Their speeches resonated with those who felt marginalized and left behind by the existing economic system. These populist leaders, often with authoritarian tendencies, capitalized on the anxieties of the time, skillfully channeling popular discontent towards the traditional elite and foreign influences. They positioned themselves as champions of the common people, vowing to dismantle the power structures that had long dominated the country. They promised a more equitable society, one where the state played a more active role in redistributing wealth and protecting the interests of the common man. Their vision included extensive state intervention in the economy to ensure that resources were allocated more fairly. This marked a significant departure from Argentina's liberal past and set the stage for a new era of political and economic upheaval. The country was on the brink of profound transformation, driven by the forces of populism and economic nationalism.